Hello everyone and welcome back. And I'm back. You may have not noticed I was on a brief vacation from YouTube, spending time with the family around the holidays, but I'm now back making episodes. I originally thought I wouldn't make any progress so that I could do everything, or most everything, on camera, but the Ameria's blessing is really valuable the first 30 days. So while I was on vacation, I did farm what I could. Mostly experience, so I could get some more monsters 6-starred. And I'm now able to farm GB11 and also DB10. So those DB10 fails occasionally, but it's not very often. But we're getting close to getting GB12 and DB12 under our belts. And hopefully be able to farm those within the next few days, I think. But you can see from this run that I do have Vero fused, and he's a no-brainer first fusion monster for an LD only account. He's a 5-star. You get 3 of the 4 pieces you need from the welcoming event. So Vero's easy, and he's really good for stabilizing GB11, GB12, DB10 through 12. So he's fabulous for that. Gorgo is 2-aid. Crow is now 2-aid. So we're making real progress there. This is the updated monster box. We now have 7 6-stars. With Gorgo and Crow 2-aid. Camaryn is the next 2A. I haven't put any XP into her yet, but I used up everything doing Crow. So I've just now started working on the next round of monsters that are going to be used for Necro and Rift Beasts and R5. One monster I picked up that I haven't talked about yet is Cassie. And so one of the problems with doing an LD only account is that in the very beginning you are really hurting for certain skills. And one of those skills is an AoE strip. So if you do a search in the monster collection for remove beneficial effects, you get a whole bunch of light monsters and a whole bunch of dark monsters, but if you look at ones that can do an AoE strip on all enemies, it's extremely limited, and there isn't a special dungeon monster light that does an AoE strip, and there isn't a special dungeon monster dark that does an AoE strip. So what you're left with is Cassie. She's the only monster that doesn't require any luck to get that can do an AoE strip, and it's not a great strip. It's 50% chance twice to remove a beneficial effect. So it's not a very reliable strip, but it's the only one you can get, unless you summon an LD3 that happens to do an AoE strip. And guess what? There's only one of those too. Gina. So her second skill removes 1 beneficial effect each, so it's not even a full strip. But it is a pretty reliable strip. You're pretty much guaranteed to strip off 1 beneficial effect per enemy with her strip. But until you get an LD4, those are really your only 2 AoE strip options. So since Cassie, you can get Cassie. Very few people actually build Cassie, and I'm not sure how many outside of an LD only account actually build her. It's probably not very many, but she's available from ancient coins. So you need 100 ancient coins, and really she gives you another toy to play with while you're building up ancient coins to get either the Dark Vampire Lord or Elsharion, and I recommend Elsharion first. We'll talk about that more in a later video, but Cassie will be my next 6-star. Because she's the only stripper I've got, AoE stripper I've got, and pretty soon RTA season is going to start up again, and she's all I got. So you need to get her ready for that. And now Cassie herself is actually a pretty good monster. It's just that her strip is not very good. So she does a triple hit on the first skill and can attack speed slow somebody, which is not bad. It's not a great skill, but it's not bad. And she's a daughter, so she could potentially be used in TOA hard. And she's pretty reliable daughter, actually, to put 2 dots on everybody. So it's not only does she strip, but she also puts dots. So that's a pretty good second skill with everything combined. You just don't rely on it as a reliable strip. And then skill 3 is a single shot, but it does pretty good damage. So she can smack with skill 3. And when you land a critical hit, it's 50% crit damage increase. So I've seen skill 3 do. I built Cassie on my Japan account, and it's pretty nice. And then she also has an attack leader skill, which is not bad. But like Loren, she's squishy. I put some beginning runes on her. It's not the best. She's only at 70% crit rate, so that crit damage bonus is only going to kick in 70% of the time. But she's actually fairly hard to rune. So you need HP because she's squishy. You need attack power so she can do damage. You need accuracy so that she can do her strip and land the dots. And then you need crit rate, crit damage. So she's on, and she's actually pretty good on despair. She's also good on violent. But despair is what I had. So I have her on attack, crit damage, attack, and I may have to alter that depending on how much survival issues I'm seeing. And I definitely need a ton of grinds. I'd like to keep her attack, crit damage, attack. But since she's supposed to be your stripper, that's too slow for RTA or even Arena. So I would probably will eventually have to put her on speed slot 2. Or if I only use her for PvE content plus RTA, then I'll put in the RTA setup, I'll put different runes on her. Also, I was pretty excited today that now that I've got my GB11 team running, if you look at the battle record from today, I was able to do a normal hit on Labyrinth. So we hit level 50, and we've maxed out our character, and we're at 20 days. So on day 20, I hit normal Labyrinth. If I'd focused on that, I could have done it earlier, but I've been working on primarily XP farming with a little bit of rune farming. And then the other thing I've been working on, spending a lot of time on, was actually Trial of Ascension Normal, and we're up to level 100. So I'll show you the team that I'm using for this. Vero, Fran, Loren, Camaryn, and Gorgo. You might notice that Crow is missing. Crow is actually very good for damage on the boss levels, but I find that Camaryn and Gorgo and Vero are really important for Camaryn, and Gorgo are really important for crowd control on TOA normal, and that Camaryn can also hit pretty hard with her skill 3, so it's not like Crow, but it's decent. So this is Vero. He's on speed, attack, HP, and that's not an ideal build by any stretch of the imagination. I did fully Devilmon him because I had enough Devilmons to do that, and I think he's worth it for an LD only account. You have to keep in mind all my advice is tailored towards building the best LD only account you can. I think Vero on my main account is still not fully skilled because there's just other things that need Devilmons more than him. But for an LD only account, absolutely fuse Vero and get him Devilmon as soon as possible. But his ideal build would be speed, crit damage, HP, and much higher crit rate, much higher crit damage, Now his accuracy is quite good, and it's important for him to land his stuns from skill 2. And I'm actually, one of the event runes that I'm crafting right now is a will crit damage rune, and the first usage for that will be Vero. And then he's just got HP and attack to give him more tankiness and to have him do more damage, even though he's got pretty crappy runes on him. Up next is Camaryn. She's on Despair Blade. So I wanted to get her as close as possible to 100% crit rate, and crit damage is decent. She also needs accuracy for her AoE slow, and also her glancing hit. That's very important for giants. She's fully skilled. It's very easy to fully skill her. She's on speed, crit damage, accuracy right now, because she needs accuracy in order to land her debuffs in GB11, GB12. As soon as possible, I want to get her on speed, crit damage, either HP or attack percent, because she's pretty squishy. 14k HP, which is not very much, and she doesn't have enough attack. So I need to change up her runes, but it's important to get her accuracy in there, so there's not a lot I can do about that. And I've started doing some grinds and gems, but she's a long way from having good runes, and she's attack, and I have been losing her a little bit in TOA normal and also in Labyrinth. I might change one of these artifacts out to HP just to give her more survivability. And then Gorgo is on Despair Shield. He's got 12k base HP, so his shield is really nice. So he's on speed, crit rate, HP, crappy runes. His HP could be way higher, but I just don't have the good runes and I don't have the grinds because I've not started any serious effort towards R5 or even R1 or R2. What grinds I can get are generally from Labyrinth. So, and then of course HP since he's an HP based damage dealer. So he's got a respectable almost 30k HP, but a good Gorgo can have 40, 50k, so he's way off, and he's not skilled up yet. It's debatable if he's worth Devilmoning, even in a 2A account. And there's an event that just came out now that allows skill ups, and I'll probably use that event to skill up Gorgo. And then Fran is on Swift Shield. Ideally she'd be on Vio, but I want her going first to put immunity up as quickly as possible in the attack buff. She's on the Summoner's Way shield runes that you get, which are amazing. Speed HP and then another HP. She actually has decent stats, over 30k HP, but her attack is pretty low, so her heal is not very strong. And her speed is decent. It's enough to make her the fastest. She has decent accuracy, but a little low. So that's Fran's runes. And then Loren's on Vile Broken. And I didn't necessarily need to put her on Violent. She can be Swift early on, but since I had the Violent runes in the Broken set, I decided to go ahead and do that. And this is not a great rune. I'm waiting for a 6-star accuracy rune to put on her before making it plus 15. Because I don't, it's just not worth, this is a gray rune. It's not worth plus 15 in a gray rune. So it's good enough for now. But that's my TOA team. And this team got me to Trial Ascension normal, 85 on auto. And as you can see, their runes are not good. But generally Loren goes first and defense breaks something. After Fran, of course. And then Camaryn and Gorgo slow things down, lower their attack power, and then there's still 2 that are not stunned, so we'll try that again. Everybody's stunned now. And then really isn't any like big threatening damage dealers here. And then so here's skill 3, and we don't have anyone defense broken, so we're gonna wait on that one. Let's see if we can stun. No, can we see? So we're just okay. So we got a shield to get rid of. Okay, so now skill 3 is ready, and there's a defense break. Did not kill. It's surprising. It must not. I saw it did not crit on the second run. Thought we would get her down though with that hit, but Vero was able to come in and save the day. And we're not slowed. They're not slowed down anymore. So now we slow down. We got a couple of despair stuns. Just do some more damage. Take that one out. Let's strip again. And we're gonna attack break him, defense break him. We're gonna slow him and the crystals down. And then we're going to go ahead and auto this and keep an eye on it. The guy is much easier to deal with than the girl for the boss. So as long as we can keep an attack power break and a glancing on him, any revenges that he does are just not going to be very effective. You could potentially try to work the right crystal down first so that it can't increase the boss's attack bar. But I think we're tanky enough that even if the boss gets a turn, we're not going to get killed by him. So we'll find out. But right now he's down to a quarter HP. His attack bar. So this team is pretty good for TOA because Vero, Fran, Loren, and Gorgo all do attack bar reduction. So the enemy team just does not get a lot of turns. Combined with Camaryn's slow, you get a lot of turns and they don't. So there it is. That's my recommendation for TOA normal. So Vero's fusion, Fran is Summoner's Way, Loren, Gorgo, Camaryn are all special dungeons. So you don't need anything fancy to get that team put together. And because one of the things I've noticed with light and dark only accounts that I've run across in playing the game is there'll be some players that have been around for a couple hundred days, sometimes longer than that, and they still haven't done TOA 100, which TOA 100 and getting TOA hard as well are going to give you 3 LD chances every time TOA is run. So those are hugely important for an LD only account. So one of your first priorities should be to get TOA normal done, which got us an LD scroll for this video. And so kind of my next plans are so fusing Jean is very important because Vero is not quite good enough for the last 20 floors of TOA hard. He could be maybe with better runes and better towers, but Jean's provoke is really important for some levels. So we're going to fuse Jean as quickly as possible and then work on TOA hard. Try to get that done in the next few episodes. And then we're going to start moving to Necro. And that's one of the other reasons that I picked up Cassie, is Cassie is really good in Necro. So first skill is 3 hits, second skill is 2 hits, third skill is only 1 hit but does big damage. So the plan is to have Cassie in the Necro team instead of Sia. I know in the previous video I'd recommended Sia and Saren for Necro, but I think Cassie's going to provide more utility and more hits instead of Sia. The only tower I've finished is the Sanctum of Energy to give me 20 more energy, and then I've started. So there's two approaches you can take in general in Summoner's War for tower building, for arena tower building. You want to get them all done as soon as possible, but one school of thought is speed should be utmost. Get your speed tower done first and then do everything else. And for some accounts, it's very good advice. I've maxed my speed tower on both my main and my Japan account. But this account, LD only, your entry into RTA is going to be delayed unless you get really, really good pulls off of LDs, which almost never happens. So speed is not nearly as important as some of these other towers, HP, attack percent, crit damage, because you want your team's speed is not nearly as important in PvE content. It's still important, but it's not the be-all, end-all like in RTA. So my approach for this series is that I'm going to build up towers based off of what can I get done quickly. So I started with doing these mana and this energy plant to improve my energy production. So I'm already up to 4% faster energy production, and I'm looking at the number of glory points all these take. And at some point, I'm not going to, once these mana ones get up above 50 or 100, I'll probably stop on those and focus more on combat. And one of the nice things about arena towers, if you're doing a strictly LD only account, you don't need to worry about wind, fire, or water. Those don't need to be built because they're not going to provide you with any benefits. So light and dark become very important, as well as your standard towers for all monsters. So I'll just be building up, including speed. When speed becomes the cheapest tower at 60 glory points, I will upgrade it. But trying to get speed for RTA when you're limited to LD only monsters and you haven't pulled any LD4s or LD5s with a speed lead, you're almost always going to be slower than your opponents in RTA. So you need to build up your other stats to try to take some hits and then take turn 2. So anyway, those are towers, and really all we have left to do is summons. So today we're going to do the Mysticals and Elementals, and we got one LD scroll from TOA Normal, plus the Legendary, and then I scraped up enough pieces to get one more LD, so we've got 2 pulls. If you watch the previous episodes of this series, we have not done very well on LD pulls, so I'm hoping we can reverse that trend today. Mysticals and Elementals, all we're hoping for is a Nat 5, because I think we have all of the fusion pieces needed. So here's Jean as our next fusion target, and we have everything we need. We can get a Rauk from Phaemon, so I'm not worried about that. So we have everything we need to fuse, and hopefully in the next couple episodes we can get Jean finished. But so really all we're hoping for is a Nat 5 to turn into LD scrolls. So we'll see if we can get lucky enough in Lightning. Samurai, he's a fusion monster. He can be turned into LD pieces, so that's not necessarily a bad pull. Another Lightning. Water Rakashash, yeah, the water girl with the whip. Julian. I actually like Julian. He's just It's unfortunately just not very useful, but it's kind of like a fun monster. But 3 lightnings and 10 pulls, I'll take that. And there's Rauk. Here's another lightning. Antares, who we can't use. Harg skill up, that could be good. If we were to get the light or dark Harg. Basically, if we can't get a nat 5, if we can at least get some skill ups that we can't farm, then that's okay. But this has been kind of the luck that this account has had so far. Those 2 early nat 5s and nothing since. Yeah, I actually pulled quite a few mystical scrolls while we were on vacation. And there's another Rauk. Another Inugami. Okay, so can we get a nat 5 from 1 legendary? Not super likely, but let's see what happens. Another Julian. Okay. Well, that doesn't help very much. Okay, so far we've had 6 LD pulls on this account. We've gotten Kuna and we've gotten Jolton, and those are both being built. They'll eventually be part of my 6-star team. But you know, those are decent pulls. And we've had nothing amazing, and the other 4 were just garbage. So, but I think we're going to So in the first 3 episodes, I couldn't bear to bring myself to watch while I was summoning, and maybe that's part of the problem. So we're just going to cross our fingers, and hopefully we get something useful. So here goes the first one. No lightning. Dark Charger Shark. It's funny, I was actually watching a video by Genesis Prime today, where he had Dark Charger Shark using, doing like 400k damage, which is insane. But this is a good pull. So he's useful in Siege. I'm happy with this one. He's a dark speed lead, so you can use him on a fast team. First skill is just increases his critical rate, but that means he only needs 70% crit rate most of the time. Second skill is an AoE attack and decreases the attack power and the attack speed for 2 turns. And so now he's pretty squishy, but I could consider seeing how he does in TOA as well. And then skill 3 is his big attack. So he does big damage with this. And then, but you need to set up the enemies so that they have 30% or lower HP. Then it will deal 100% more damage. And so he can really smack if the enemy's already been wounded. And which, if an enemy's almost dead already, why do you need to do 200k? But he's a useful mon. I'm happy with that. It's not a dupe, and Dark Speed Lead is good. So he'll be one of my first speed leads for Siege. So that's okay. Let's see if we can get something even better from the second pull. Can we get lightning? It looks like not. And we got Lynn, who used to be like a GB10 goddess, but she also only needs 70% crit rate, and that's the entire time for her skill 1. And then inflicts damage proportionate to enemy's max HP, so she's really good on bosses. And then also can do a stun, and if the target is immune to stun, 30% extra damage. So those are two good pulls. I'm happy with that. That's both of those are useful monsters. I might try using Lyn in the dungeons, I'm not sure, but both are, while they're not ideal for siege, they're both pretty good damage dealers. And actually the Dark Charger Shark has more utility than Lyn for siege. So two good pulls. I was getting really tired of the really horrible pulls, so I'm happy with that. We can, and neither one of those are in our immediate plans for the future, but they will be built and used. And I did also pull, I pulled the special dungeon for the Dark Hellhound, so I now have that one available for when I need another damage dealer. And today I also got the Dark Vagabond, who's really good for siege defense. So we have plenty of things to build, and now that we've gotten a couple of better pulls, I feel better about this account, and we will feature those monsters as soon as we get an opportunity to build them. But we're still going to stay on focus. Jean's coming up next. Cassie's going to be 6-starred, and we're going to work our way into Rift Beasts, Necro, and farm a bunch of runes while we have Ameria's Blessing, because free rune and artifact removal, so I can switch things around, and power-up costs are 50% off. So as many runes as you can get, power them up cheaply and get rid of the crap ones and keep the really good ones. So, and speaking of really good runes, we've been farming most of the day today, some XP and some runes. We've collected 1,400 points today. We have 1,700 points available. So these are the runes we're working on. Now this event won't be around for most people that watch this video, unless you watch it within the first 20 days or so. Anytime you get to craft runes, I almost always recommend Violent Speed. You're guaranteed to get your 42 speed, and then you get to pick your subs. HP percent violent, slot 6. I'm always out of those. And then I'm doing will rune, slot 4, crit damage. And then will HP percent. You could also do a will attack percent, slot 6. Also run out of those quite a bit. But I have been, you can see, I've used 4,600 points, and none of these runes are ready. So one of the big pieces of advice for this type of event is don't pull your runes until you get really good subs, or just keep rolling things till near the end and then take them. Now this speed rune is decent for a damage dealer, but it's not very good for a support. And most damage dealers, not most, but a good percentage of damage dealers are not going to be on violent. So I want this to be a support speed, support HP percent, support HP percent, and then this is going to be damage dealer. So we can roll a few of these and see if we get anything that's worth keeping. And so far, I have not had very good luck. In fact, my other two accounts, now they don't have, okay. This is nearly ideal. So if you have a support monster, they're going to need HP, accuracy, and defense to keep them tanky. And then, so my Fran is not on violent yet, and Fran needs attack percent for her heal. So actually, this rune could almost not roll badly for Fran. So we're going to take that. We're going to take this rune. We're going to, because I'm missing 1 efficiency here, 2 there, 1 there, maximum efficiency on HP percent. I don't think I'm going to get better than that. So we're going to confirm these sub-properties. We're going to take the rune. So we'll go look at that one in a minute. Got lucky there. I was not expecting any of these to roll well. I have 49 points left, so we used them all. We didn't even get to the 4th rune, so there goes rip 1,400 points. But we got 1 rune out of it. Let's go see what that looks like. So we're going to collect the rune. We're immediately going to lock it because we don't want to lose this. Normally I don't watch runes power up, but this could be an amazing rune. That's okay for Fran. Really, honestly, the weakest stat, like the one stat we really don't want it to roll into, is defense, which of course that's why it just rolled into it. But it helps. It still helps to support Mon. So, but what we would have liked to see is like, 1 or 2 rolls in accuracy, 1 or 2 into HP percent, and the rest into attack. So it didn't roll ideal, but it's still a very good rune. Because you've got, it would be nice if this last one goes into accuracy, because my Fran's accuracy is a little low. But even if it stays at 7% accuracy, it's still really good efficiency. We did not get a very good, we got a middle efficiency roll on attack, and we got middle efficiency rolls. So triple defense roll, which is sad. But Fran's defense is really low, so if that helps her survivability, that's okay. Still a nice rune. And it's triple grindable, so attack percent could be around, it could be over 20%. HP can make it up to around 18-20%, and defense could be close to 40%. So, which could make this a better rune for like Bella instead of Fran, because Bella has better defense, especially once she's 2A'd. But that's a really nice rune, so we're happy about that. 2 nice LD3s that are, I built both of those on my Japan account, and I haven't used the Charger Shark recently, but I believe he's still runed, and he'll be very useful in early siege. So good pulls. I'm happy about the progress today. So thanks for watching this series. I just love the LD only challenge, and I hope that kind of comes through in the series and you see that. So if you guys are building an LD only account and you're on global, feel free to send me a message on global, or you can leave your username down below in the comments on YouTube, and I'll look you up on global. But on global, it's I am Speed LD only. That's my account. For at least the next 20 days, I'll be on it as much as possible. So thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. This has been the series has had a pretty good reception. First couple of videos are over 200 views already after not being posted very long. So it looks like this is interesting content. I hope you follow along. And until next time, see ya.